7:34 Thursday morning. Welcome to the CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. I'm Jason DeRusha. How you doing? Hope you're having a good morning. My gosh, I tell you what, I was just over by the news desk, and I came over here to the Weather Center, and we have these windows right to the outside, and it is freezing over here. Riley has said it is cold over here, but I feel it like that's because it's freezing outside. It's sub-freezing. It's below freezing. Here's your forecast today. Frigid chills at noon. The bitter blast is going to smack you. It's coming at you. Arctic sun at 4 p.m. Wind chill advisory overnight. I don't know. It's one of those days where maybe I'll turn the thermostat up from 60, in the overnight hours. Just put a sweater on. It'll be fine. Hopefully you don't have to work outdoors. My thoughts are with anybody who has to kind of work in those conditions today. It is tough out there for sure. Should warm up a bit on Monday, but otherwise we're going to be in this kind of bitter blast, Arctic chill, all of those things for the next couple of days at least. A cold weekend for sure. Let's talk about this. Jury selection begins this morning in the federal trial of 3 now former Minneapolis police officers who are all fired. They're charged with violating George Floyd's civil rights. This is a federal case. And so it's the U.S. Justice Department saying Tou Thao, Thomas Lane, J. Alexander King not only failed to act to help Floyd, but they did that intentionally, and that contributed to depriving him of his civil rights. The legal experts tell us it'll be a tough case. It'll take place at the federal courthouse. It was randomly assigned to a judge in St. Paul, and that's why the case will be happening there. Fences are up, security expected to be tight, no cameras in the courtroom. All 3 of these guys have pleaded not guilty. And so our question to you is about public access. Do you wish there were cameras in the courtroom? We've had cameras in the courtroom for the state trial of Derek Chauvin. We had them in the trial for the Brooklyn Center police officer, Kim Potter. And so we were able to watch this stuff. I just wonder if you wish you could watch this. Does it feel like the federal courts, the U.S. Supreme Court, are behind the times? Or do you think cameras in the courtroom maybe are a negative or intimidate people or whatever the case may be? We have some good evidence after having those 2 high-profile trials televised. So we ask you that. What are your thoughts on cameras in the courtroom? Heather did a good question on that this week. We'll share some of your thoughts coming up in a minute. We've been following some breaking news out on the roads. True Minnesota hot dish scenario where they've got the tater tots on the bottom instead of the top. We just need a little bit of cream and mushroom soup and we'd solve this dilemma. This is a live picture at 7:37 in the morning of Interstate 94 right near Albertville. And that center section is the main highway. There's construction going on 94, so that center section was all backed up this morning. 2 semi-trucks crashed into each other around this curve, and it forced one of them to lose their load of potatoes. MnDOT telling us they don't think there are any injuries. State Patrol working on this all morning long, but the potatoes froze to the highway because it's 10 below zero. And there's a lot of starch and moisture in potatoes. So when they all hit the road, then there were a number of cars that drove over the potatoes. And so that caused problems as well. It's taken a while to clean it up. But MnDOT tells us, don't worry, everything will be all right. Tip your waitress. Help is on the way for Minnesota hospitals that are struggling under the strain of COVID-19. More than 100 nurses are going to be beefing up staffing. Nearly 24 care facilities all around the state this week. The governor used federal rescue plan monies to hire these extra nurses, and the nurses have agreed to work 60-hour weeks. They'll do it for the next 2 months. Another round of 100 nurses will arrive in Minnesota soon.
We're all fighting for the same resources, and they just don't exist. And right now, we don't have any relief, really from the community to give us a break.
Health Department says best way you can support hospital staff is get vaccinated and get boosted and then wear a mask indoors. New data from the Met Council shows even though it may feel like we're at the peak Omicron, they're saying it's already peaked. Here's a straight poop. The research comes right from your bathroom. This is actually really smart because COVID tests, the response are delayed. The data is delayed by several days. This is kind of real-time information about everybody, not just people who have tested. And the amount of COVID in the wastewater peaked about 2 weeks ago and has been declining since. So that should be good news. This is called the Wastewater Project. That data shared with the Minnesota Department of Health. Children under 5 could be eligible for a COVID vaccine as soon as next month. During an interview with the nonprofit group Blue Star Families, Dr. Anthony Fauci said he can't guarantee anything, but he hopes to see FDA approval soon. Pfizer expected to submit data for a 3-dose regimen in the first half of the year. Total amount of vaccine that young kids would get in those 3 doses is just a fraction of what adults will receive. Laundry day might soon cost you more. Laundry detergent isn't cheap, right? You can spend $20 for like a big jug of Tide or Gain. Procter & Gamble's saying they're going to raise the prices. Just, you know, inflation. Everything's going up. Cost of shipping is higher. Labor cost is higher. The inputs, the ingredients. So P&G saying 8%. So on $20, that's, what, $1.60? Is that right? Yeah. How about that for quick math? Not bad for a political science and broadcasting student. April is when you can expect those price hikes. And actually, a grocery store insider told me part of the reason you're seeing empty shelves at many grocery stores is because the product is sitting in warehouses waiting for price hikes to take effect. So things aren't being delivered yet until the price hike goes into effect over, you know, a lot of grocery products are going up in the next couple of weeks. Amazon is going to open a department store because what business would you want to be in other than a brick and mortar department store, right? Everybody's going to the mall and shopping. Amazon going to open this up in Southern California. We have an Amazon store at Mall of America. It's kind of cool. A lot of people buy clothes from Amazon. You'll get personalized recommendations pushed to your phones. Customers can kind of use those QR codes, use the app to have clothes directly sent to a fitting room. So you just show up. Oh, isn't that cool? Welcome to your room, Serena. It's already picked. Smart. Pretty smart. You can request different sizes and colors right in there. Very interesting. Winter. We know there are challenges with winter, but we love to celebrate the beauty, even if it means sharing video from Greece. This is that kind of crazy frost that coats the trees, but then you can see how sunny it is in the blue skies and how clear the road is. Pretty interesting. This is Florina, Greece. Makes you want to go, doesn't it? It's magical, those trees covered in frost. MnDOT is doing its sort of stupid, sort of fun, name a snowplow contest. Again, they got more than 11,000 suggestions. And they weeded it down to the top 50. I don't know which one of our producers picked these 4 as the ones to highlight. I don't know that these are the best. You know? They're good, don't get me wrong. Betty Whiteout. I gotta be honest, I didn't vote for Betty Whiteout. I know, I mean, she just died, I get it. I love Betty White. But like, her connection to Minnesota is limited. O for snow, kind of like O for cute. I voted for Control Salt Delete. I think that's pretty good. I voted for Le Plow du Nord. Sir Plows a Lot. Sir Plows a Lot is good, right? I like big snow and I cannot lie. You know, I mean, Sweet Carol Brine. Sweet Carol Brine. No? Ba, ba, ba. Come on, Ron. Just leave me hanging with the ba-ba-ba. We have a link at WCCO.com. Usually Ron's right on it. I'm going to guess he just was bored with this thing and wasn't paying attention. Is that right? Or you just were protesting?
I was paying attention.
He was paying attention. Even more hurtful. All right. I respect that. I respect it. Anyway, oh, someone did a data request. So I think we talked on this show before how a friend of mine thought it would be funny to name a plow Chasin DeSlusha. Chasin DeSlusha. And they got 20 nominations for that, which was good enough to be in the top 10 of overall nominations. MnDOT, I think they tend not to want to name these after people. So I understand that, although I'm a little miffed. right? Top 10. They picked 50. They couldn't have put it. Actually, no, I respect your decision, but I'm also mad about it. All right, let's talk about cameras in the courtroom. Curious where you're at on this. Maggie says it would be nice to have those cameras in the courtroom, even if it's just highlights on the evening news. I mean, I confess, like, I'm biased on this. So that's why we turn it over to you. Thanks, Maggie. Here's Todd. I think it's strange that courtroom sketches are still used and cameras aren't allowed. I don't see an issue with cameras, but I still wouldn't watch whole trials. Just give me the important clips via WCCO. I get that. Like, I think most people don't have the time to sit around and watch entire trials. But it is nice to be able to see an extended, like, if there's a witness you wanted to watch, to go back and watch that one witness. Thanks, Todd. Here's Pam. Yeah, I think they should have cameras in court I would watch. We certainly saw in the Potter trial and the Chauvin trial quite a bit of interest in watching that. I think people want to know what's going on in the courtrooms. The courtrooms are open to public, even federal court. So this idea that they're open to print journalism and not to visual journalism, to me is, well, you know how I feel. Thank you, Pam. Here's Ross. I say camera in courtroom. You never know. You might see it on court cam. Okay, morning update. Did I miss? Was I just reading? Did I read that wrong? Oh, you never know what you might see. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't see the harm. We haven't seen any evidence of that in the last two trials, at least. Things went really, really well, and the lawyers weren't showboating for the camera, which I think is sometimes the concern. Anyway, we appreciate you if you want showboating for the camera. CBSN Minnesota Morning Update. That's what we're here for. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow.